Hey, it's Ms. Minton again, and I'm doing the next part of Dear Mr. Henshaw by Beverly Cleary. December 4th. Dear Mr. Henshaw, I am so sorry I was rude in my last letter when I answered your questions. Maybe I was just mad about other things like Dad forgetting to send this month's support payment. Mom tried to phone him at the trailer park where, as Mom says, he hangs his hat. He has his own phone in the trailer so the broker who lined up jobs for him can reach him. I wish he still hauled sugar beets over at the refinery in Speckles so he can come and see me. The judge in the divorce says he has a right to see me. When you answer my questions, you say the way to get another answer was to write. You underline it twice. Well, I sure did a lot of writing, you know the what? Now I think about it, it wasn't so bad it wasn't a book report or a report on any country in South America or anything, where I had to look up in the library. I even sort of miss writing now that I finish your questions. I get lonesome. Ma is working overtime at Catering by Katie because people give a lot of parties this time of year. When I write a book, maybe I'll call it The Great Lunch Bag Mystery because I get a lot of trouble with my lunch bag. Ma isn't so great on cooking roasts and steaks now that Dad is gone, and she gives me good lunches with sandwiches and whole wheat bread from the health food store with good filling spread in around the corners. Katie sends little cheesecake bites baked for me, or stuffed mushrooms or things she calls capernes. Sometimes I get a slice of quiche. Today I'm supposed to have a deviled egg. Katie buys the smallest eggs at parties, so half the egg get eaten in one bite and doesn't spill on people's carpets. She puts a little curry powder with the mushed up yolk when she spreads it on the tube so it looks like a rose. At lunchtime, when I open up my bag, my egg is gone. We leave our lunchbox in boxes, mostly bags, because no 6th grader wants to carry a lunchbox, lined up along the wall under our coat racks in the bottom. Kind of like a partition. Are you writing another book? Please answer my rare speaking pen pals. Still your number one fan, Lee Botts. December 12th. Dear Mr. Henshaw, I am surprised to get your postcard from Wyoming because I thought you lived in Alaska. Don't worry, I get the message. You don't have a lot of time for answering letters. That's okay with me, because I'm glad you're busy writing a book and chopping wood to keep warm. Something nice happened today. When I was hanging around the bushes at school waiting for 10 minutes before first bell rings, I was watching Mr. Friedley raise the flags. Maybe I better explain that the state flag California is white with a brown bear in the middle. First, Mr. Friedley fastened the U.S. flag on the hay yard. That's a new word in my vocabulary. And fastened the California flag below it. He pushed the flag to the top of the flagpole. The bear was upside down with his feet in the air. And I said, "Hey, Mr. Friedley, the bear is upside down." This is a new paragraph because Miss Martinez says there has to be a new paragraph when a different person speaks. Mr. Friedley said, "Well, so it is. Would you like to turn right side up?" So I got to put the flags down, turn the bear flag right side up, and raise both flags again. Mr. Friedley said if I come to school a few minutes early every morning to help him with the flags, but to please stop walking backwards because it makes him nervous. So now I have to walk so quite slow. It's nice to have somebody notice me. No one stole anything from my lunchbox today because I ate it on the way to school. I've been thinking about what you said on your postcard keeping a diary. Maybe I'll try it. Sincerely, Lee Botts. December 13th. Dear Mr. Henshaw, I bought a composition notebook like you said, and it's yellow with a spiral bounding. On the front I printed, Diary of Lee Marcus Butts. Private. Keep out. That means you. When I started writing it, I didn't know how to begin. I felt like I should write Dear Composition Book, but that sounds dumb. So does Dear Piece of Paper. The first page still feels like the way blank. I don't think I can keep a diary. I don't want to be a nuisance to you, but I wish you could tell me how to start. I'm stuck. Puzzle Reader, Dear Bots. December 21st. Dear Mr. Henshaw, I got your poster with the picture of the bears. Maybe I'll do what you say and pretend your diary is a letter to somebody. I suppose I could write to Dad, but I used to write to him and he never answers back. Maybe I'll pretend I'm writing to you, because I'll answer all your questions. I got the habit of beginning, Dear Mr. Henshaw. Don't worry, I won't send it to you. Thanks for the tip. I know you're busy. Your grateful friend, Lee Botts. The Private Diary of Lee Botts. So at this point in the story, we're going to be reading his diary. He's going to stop sending actual letters to Dear Mr. Henshaw. Friday, December 22nd. Dear Pretend, Mr. Henshaw, this is a diary. I will keep it, not mail it. If I eat my lunch on the way to school, I will get hungry in the afternoon. Today I didn't sell the 2 stuffed mushrooms. Mom packed in lunch were gone by lunch period. My sandwich isn't still there, so I didn't starve to death, but I sure miss those mushrooms. I can't complain to the teacher, because it's not a good idea for the new boy in school to be a snitch. All morning I tried to keep track of who leaves the seat to go to the partition where we keep our lunches. I would wait to see who leaves the room last at recess. I kind of went chewing, but Miss Martinez is always telling me the phrase to find the room. Anyways, the door in the classroom is usually open. Anyone could sneak in if we're all facing front, and Mrs. Martinez to write on the blackboard. Hey, I just had an idea. Some authors write under made-up names. After Christmas vacation, I'll write a fictitious name on my lunch bag. That'll fool the seats, so it'll stay in my books. I guess I don't have to sign my name to a diary, so I'll sign a real letter that I would mail. Saturday, December 23rd. Dear Mr. Pretend Henshaw, this is the first day of Christmas vacation. Still no package from Dad. I thought he'd be bringing me a present instead of mailing it. So I asked Dad what she thought it was for Christmas. She said, we're divorced, remember? I knew all right. I remembered all the time. Sunday, December 24th. Dear Pretend Mr. Henshaw, still no package from Dad. I'm starting to think about last Christmas when we bought the mobile home before Dad bought the trailer. He had to dodge the highway patrolman to get home in time for Christmas. Ma cooked a turkey and a nice dinner. We had a Christmas tree about 2 feet high because there wasn't enough room for a big one. At dinner, Dad remarked that he was driving along. He saw one shoe lying on the highway. He always remembered what had got there and what happened to its mates. Ma said one shoe sounded sad, like an old country western song. While they eat our mince pie, we tried to think of songs about lost shoes. I'll never forget mine. Mine was the worst. Driving with a heavy load, I saw a shoe upon the road, squashed like a toad. Dad came up with, I saw a shoe, wet with dew, on Highway 2. It made me blue. What will I do? Mom's song made us laugh. It was best. A lonesome hiker was unlucky to lose his truck near Turlucky. She hitched a ride with 1 foot damp down the road to Angel Camp. Dumb songs, we had a lot of fun. Ma and Dad laughed along for a long time, and I hope they never stop. After that, whenever Dad came home, I asked him to see any shoes on the highway. He always had. Monday, December 25th. Dear Pretend Mr. Henshaw, last night I was feeling low and still awake after the gas station stopped pinging. Then I heard heavy feet coming down the steps, and for a minute I thought it was Dad until I remembered he was always ran up steps. Mom was careful about opening the door at night. I heard her turn on the outdoor light and knew it peeking behind the curtain. She opened the door and the man said, is this where Lee Botts lives? I was at a bed into the front room for a second. I'm Lee Botts, I said. Your dad asked me to drop this off for you. A man looked like a trucker, handed me a big package. Thanks, I said. Thanks a whole lot. I looked kind of puzzled because he sent out a call on the CB radio for anyone coming to Pacific Grove would like to play Santa. So here I am. Merry Christmas and a ho ho ho. He waved up and down the walk before I could say anything. Wow, I said to Mom. Wow. She just stood there in her room smiling when I began to tear out the paper even though it wasn't Christmas morning. Dad had sent something I always wanted. A quilt down jacket with lots of pockets and a hood that zips into a collar. I tried it on into my pajamas. It was the right size, felt great. Getting a present from Dad in time for Christmas felt even better. Today, Katie invited us for Christmas dinner, even though she was busy season for catering. She also had some other women who worked for her and their kids and a few old ladies from the neighborhood. On the way home, Ma said Katie has a heart as big as a football stadium. It's lovely dinner for lonely hearts. I wonder if she's thinking about last Christmas when we made think of make-up songs about lonely lost shoes. Here's a picture of the goat. Wednesday, January 3rd. Dear Pretend Mr. Henshaw, I got behind diary during Christmas vacation because I had a lot of things to do, such go to the dentist, get some new shoes, and do a lot of things that can't be done during school. Today I wrote fictitious name or pseudonym as something to say on my lunchbox. I printed Joe Kelly on it because it's the name of the boy and weighs me as a dog, so I knew it's fictitious. I guess fooled the thief because no one stole my water chestnuts and chicken livers wrapped in bacon that Katie boiled just as for me. They were so good when they were cold. I hope the thief drooled when he watched me eat them. Monday, January 8th. Dear Mr. Pretend Henshaw, Dad phoned me from Hamilton, Oregon. I looked up my book of road maps and saw where it is up on the Columbia River. He said waiting for a load of potatoes. I could hear a jukebox and a bunch of men talking. I asked about Bandit. He said Bandit was fine, a great listener on lawn halls, even though he didn't say much. I asked Dad if I could ride with him sometimes, and when school comes out next. He said, we'll see. I hate answers like that. Anyways, he said he was sending the support check, and he's sorry he forgot, and he hoped I liked the jacket. I sure wish Dad lived with us again. But he'd phone in next week to keep my nose clean. He had to make sure potatoes were loaded so he didn't shift around in curves. This is a good day. My lunch was safe again. Mr. Friday is so funny. Lots of kids are having their teeth straightened so they eat lunch, take out their retainers, and wrap them in paper napkins so they eat, because no one wants to look at that spitty retainer. Sometimes they forget and throw the napkin with the retainer in the garbage. Then they have to hunt through the cans of gooey garbage until they find the retainers, because retainers cost a lot of money. And parents get mad they get lost. Friday always stands in the garbage cans to make sure kids who buy lunch put their forks and spoons in the tray and not in the garbage. Whenever somebody wears a retainer, scrapes a plate, Mr. Friday says, look out, don't lose your false teeth. That always cuts down the loss on retainers. Ma says I take after Dad in one thing. My teeth are nice and straight, which is a big saving there. Tuesday, January 9th. Dear Pretend Mr. Henshaw, the little cheesecake went missing today made me laugh. I guess somebody noticed Joe Kelly's lunch was in mine. When I threw out my lunch bag in the garbage, Mr. Friday says, cheer up, Lee, or someone trip over your lower lip. How do you feel if someone's always stealing the good stuff from your lunch? He said, what do you need is a burglar alarm. A burglar alarm on the lunchbox? I'd laugh because I wanted my cheesecake. Dad should be phoning any day now. When I said I was at supper, chili out of a can, Ma said not to get my hopes up. But I know Dad will remember this time. Ma says really not much about Dad and I asked why she divorced him. She says it takes two people to get a divorce. I guess it's the same way it takes two people to have a fight. Tomorrow I'm going to wrap my lunchbox in a lot of scotch tape so no one can sneak out anything of it. All right. I'm going to stop there and read another day. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.